Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you primarily about forgiveness, but the topic is based on you having a hard heart. And how did that actually come about? How did that happen that you became this hard-faced person? Okay, well, it's rooted in unforgiveness. That's what I want to tell you. If somebody's done you wrong, or done a member of your family wrong, or a loved one wrong, no matter what the crime is, you are going to have to forgive them, because the alternative to not forgiving them is unforgiveness, and unforgiveness is planting a seed of wickedness inside of yourself. So somebody outside did something wicked that you either real or imagine, because sometimes, half the time when we think somebody's done something to us, they haven't really done anything. But let's just say it's a real situation, whether it's real or whether it's imagined. When somebody attacks you and then you become unforgiving towards them, that means you're becoming resentful, you are becoming bitter, and you are becoming revengeful, and then as a consequence of all that, you're becoming hateful. Once you want to see somebody fall, once you are harboring any little negative thought about them coming down or not succeeding, or if a girl has lost her boyfriend to another girl, praying that that relationship never works out. So it's secretly, you might not actually act on it, but your thoughts are condensing into your heart, and they're condensing bitter and grudgeful and wrong thoughts about that person. In fact, you don't want to see that girl shine, even if she looks good on it one day and somebody tells you how good she looks. Boom, it's like a stab in your own heart, because you are growing a hate towards her. Now, the problem with hate is that we always feel justified to hold it, because we feel justified that, well, this person's done me wrong, so the only thing that I can do is resent them, to hate them, to not wish good for them. But all of those things does nothing to the person, does nothing. As they say, unforgiveness is like swallowing a poisonous pill and expecting the other person to die from it. When you become judgmental, bad-minded, hard-hearted against another human being or situation, then all you're doing is killing yourself. Revenge, resentment, these are all wicked taskmasters. When they get their power over you, you can't have any rest. Now, the person who did you wrong, they're already being tortured with the reality. And I'll explain to you that when you do wrong, how there's no escape from that wrong. I'll deal with that another day. But for now, you're assuming that, oh, they're still laughing, they're drinking champagne, they're going to the party, they're living good, and yet they've done this thing to me. They've done this terrible thing to me, or they've done this terrible thing to my family. Why should they be happy? And then you go away and you think about hateful things and mean things towards them. If somebody discusses you with them, it's like, I don't want to discuss them. I don't want to have nothing to do with that person ever again. Blah, 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 blah. We've got so much hard conditions that we put on people who wrong us, that we become haters without realizing it. Because whether somebody's in your world or not, the fact that they are in your heart, however they live in your heart, represents the state of your heart. So if you have a reason to feel like, I don't want that person around me again, I'm never going to let that person get close, I don't want anything more to do with them, then you're starting to sow the seeds of hardness inside of yourself. You're starting to sow unforgiveness. You're starting to sow revenge into yourself. Now, all of these things are painful. They torture you, they torment you, they confuse you, you understand? They set you aside from loving other people and being warm and caring and tender, because you blocked some of that love in you to save some of your heart for wickedness and hating the other person. So your heart can't be filled with love, because you're slowly allowing darkness to creep in, no matter how small or petty it is. Okay, so what I want you to understand is that once you have an unforgiving heart, you are poisoning and slowly killing yourself with bitterness, with resentment, with hard-hearted feelings. So how do you get rid of that? How do you stop that when somebody does you wrong? The first place of stopping badness or wickedness is to start with your vanity. Usually when you're so, oh, poor me, they did this, why should that happen to me, blah, blah, blah. It's because you're too vain. You're too in love with yourself. You are too important that nobody should ever offend you. Nobody should ever step on your feet. And if they do, God forbid, you're going to disconnect from them or isolate them or talk badly about them or bitch about them in your mind and have resentful thoughts in your mind and then you contaminate your own spirit. This is what vanity does. Vanity is always looking to protect me, poor me, I'm a victim, somebody hurt me, poor me, poor me, poor me. And that poor me, well, when you come in contact with a victim mentality person, they always leave you feeling drained. Because they just consume love, they consume all the goodness because they've got nothing to offer. They only want to drag the goodness from you. But their hard-heartedness that's being developed is being developed on that victim mentality. It's being developed on that vanity and that self-righteous and that self-important. That's where we get resentment from. A humble person will be injured and say, I'm leaving it to God or I'm leaving it to circumstances. I want to give you a quick story to show you that hate is never the solution for hate. And that in fact, the only way that we can overcome the hate in somebody else is by being forgiving, is by being loving, is by being tender. There is no other way. So this young girl, recently married to her husband, a year or so, living with her mother-in-law in a village in Africa. Now the mother-in-law is very wicked to her, mean, always telling lies on her, taking away her food and not feeding her in the daytime, and generally treating the girl as if she was an animal. So the girl one day, she gets fed up of all this bad treatment, so she says, right, she's heard about this witch doctor who can solve every problem. So she put on her shoes and walked to the village, into the deeper bushes of the village, to go and seek out this witch doctor. So when she explained to the witch doctor that, look, this woman is so wicked to me, she's making my life hell, my husband and my relationship with my husband is not what it should be because she's always poisoning his mind against me. So the witch doctor says, well, what do you want me to do? So she says, oh, poison her. Give me something that I can kill her. I want to poison her in some way, but I don't want anybody to know it's me. So he says, okay, then I want you to take this oil, and when you go back to the village for 1 month, every single day for a month, I want you to use, the only way you are going to kill your wicked mother-in-law is to put this oil, rub it into her feet. But you have to wash her feet every day and rub the oil in and make sure it's well rubbed into all the cracks and all the creases, that it penetrates into her skin. So she was like, she didn't like the idea of having to get so physically close to her mother-in-law, but to kill, you often have to get close. Although modern life has given you a gun that you can fire from far, but generally you have to get close to the one that you want to kill. So she goes back to the village now, armed up, ready, right? Within a month, this woman is dead. She's out of my life. I'm done with her. You understand? So she's gone into the village, gone home now. So she's like, oh, mommy, I beg you, I see you walking around in the dust all day. Your feet are getting cracked. Let me wash your feet and oil it for you. So the mother-in-law looked on her with suspicion, but nevertheless, it was a harmful act she's acting her to do. So she sit down and let the girl wash her feet, but they were very cold towards each other. The next day, she did the same thing. The next day, every day, she went back for the month. But over the month, they started to talk. They started to share each other's story. The mother started to share her background and the wickedness that had happened to her, and how somehow, even though she doesn't want to be wicked, that somehow this thing comes over her. And with the girl spending a month with her, washing her feet, creaming the mother, they started to laugh, they started to joke, they started to become the very best of friends. After 1 month, she went back to see the witch doctor, smiling, happy, cheerful. So the witch doctor says, oh, I can see that the wicked mother-in-law, excuse me if I say stepmother, I can see that your wicked mother-in-law has, you've sorted out the problem. So she says, yes. So he asks her, is she dead? Well, she says, yes, well, that wicked woman is dead. but now I have a beautiful woman, and that is fundamentally, I have a beautiful mother-in-law. And that is fundamentally by demonstrating an act of kindness towards a woman, getting close towards a woman, understanding what's inside of the woman's heart, melted the woman's heart towards the girl, and also melted the girl's heart towards the woman. So this is just an evidence, and you know it in other situations, and I dare you to try it. I dare you to try to be good to somebody that you are resentful towards. You think about that person, the person that you don't like, the person that when you think of them, your heart misses a beat, or you feel like a stab in your gut. You know, then that's what you're feeling. You're feeling a stab. You're feeling your heart missing a beat. You're feeling out of sync. You're feeling out of focus because you're killing yourself. You're not killing them. So what I want you to do is to think about that one person who really makes you feel negative and bad and brings out a bad energy in you. And then I want you to think about what act can you do towards that person that will start to really test out this theory. Really test it out and to see if hate can conquer, if love can truly conquer hate. Because if my last point here is if somebody's done something wicked to you, you can revenge that person, but you've grown and increased hate in the world and increased hate in yourself. So if you only want to eliminate the person, that's achievable. That can be done. If somebody's done you wrong, you can go around and tell the rest of the world and maybe poison the reputation. But that would have dealt with that person, maybe. Luckily, maybe to some extent you'd have dealt with that person. But that has not done anything to conquer hate. Hate is still there. Now hate is being infected in you and is now thriving in you because you acted out in revenge. And revenge is they say revenge is best served cold. Revenge is best served never at all. It's a dish that we can do without, okay? So God bless you, and I hope that you take this message and practice being loving and tender and kind to somebody who needs your forgiveness, and not only who needs your forgiveness, but who you need to forgive for your own peace, joy, and daily happiness, okay?